So following basic training and airborne school, both of which for me was done at Fort Benning in Georgia, I arrived to Fort Bragg, North Carolina, which is where I am right now, physically right now on Fort Bragg for work. Selection, Q course, both done here at Bragg, and then following my graduation, I was assigned to third group, which is also here at Fort Bragg. So I would spend close to 10 years here on Fort Bragg before being transferred from third group to fifth group, which is what brought me to Fort Campbell, which is where I am stationed now. Been here on Bragg now for a few days for work. Had a meeting this morning, a bunch of them, and it wasn't until I walked out of the building and just stopped and looked around that I realized that I was standing in the location where I donned this Green Beret for the first time. When you graduate the Q course, there are two ceremonies that happen. The first is on, I think it's a Thursday. The second, I think, is usually on a Friday. The first one of those is the donning of the Green Beret ceremony. And as it sounds, it's the first time that you put your Green Beret on as a Green Beret. And this is done outside because we don't wear headgear inside buildings. And of course, prior to that ceremony, you need to get yourself the Green Beret. You're going to shape it. You're going to mold it. You're going to put your flash on and your insignia. So you're going to physically wear it at some point prior to the ceremony, but this is the first time that you will don your Green Beret officially as a Green Beret. It's a ceremonial thing. And it's an impactful moment. It's one that most of us will never forget. Your family's there, friends are there. It's a big deal. That ceremony happens right here next to me. And I walked out of this building and I was like, wow, this is where that happened. I didn't realize that that's where I was initially because this whole area is brand new. All these buildings around me, they're all brand new. There was some old school decaying relics from probably World War II era that were here. There was always a lot of construction going on when I was stationed here. There's a lot of construction going on now. Fort Bragg is like a city. It's pretty big, and there's a lot of infrastructure. This whole area is brand new. So it wasn't until I walked out of this building that I realized where I was. I'll show you. So this is the building. And out front, I'm zoomed in as tight as I can get, is a monument statue of Colonel Bull Simons, who's a Special Forces Green Beret legend from the Vietnam era. Right there in these open grounds, this is where that happens. The donning of the Green Beret ceremony. And all this is new. These are all new buildings here. But it was right there that I put this thing on for the first time. You know, the irony of this is you have to dedicate yourself to a degree in which many are unfamiliar with to earn this hat that I'm wearing right now, to earn this green hat. For many of us, this hat exists at the top of the steepest, most dangerous mountain, most challenging mountain that we've ever had to climb before. It is incredibly unlikely, statistically, that you are going to be successful at earning this green hat. And then you do it, right? Okay, and then you do it. You go through it. You know, it takes you 2 years, a little over 2 years, depending, through all that pain and suffering and training and discomfort and all the things that we go through to earn this little green hat so we can go do a job. That finally happens, you know, and you put it on for the first time right here. It's an amazing moment. It's amazing how fast you then want to avoid wearing the hat, wearing the Green Beret. Those of us on the teams, we typically avoid wanting to wear our uniform as often as possible. We want to avoid that. Team guys want to avoid putting a uniform on. We have to at times, as part of the job. For what I do now, since I've left the teams, I have to wear this more often than I ever used to. Therefore, I have to put, this Green Beret hat on my head more often than I'm used to doing. And while, you could say it's a pain in the ass, because it is. Like, this hat is difficult to put on. It's not like throwing on a baseball cap. It's a two-handed job. So if you're coming and going out of buildings, you're taking it off when you go in, and then you got to put it back on before you leave. If you have things in your hands, you got to put it down. You need both hands to put it on. You put it on, you shape it, you get it all so it's like somewhat presentable. Also, you can walk, 45 feet to get to your vehicle. You take it off, you put it back in your pocket. It's just like a whole thing, right? It's a silly thing to complain about, which is actually kind of part of the point here, is now that I'm in this new position I've been in for, 5-6 months, and I have to put this on more frequently. It's moments like I'm having right now, which doesn't happen very often, where I can sit back and remind myself and be reminded that there is a great honor that comes with having earned this little green hat, and I have the privilege of putting it on. Now, it's very easy for us to lose sight of that, whether we're talking about a hat or we're talking about a profession or a job or a relationship or walking into the gym or doing something that is going to be difficult or it's frustrating or it can be annoying or whatever it is. And it's like, I have to do this today. I have to go to work. I have to go to the gym. I have to go do my cold therapy. I have to go have a really hard conversation with my spouse. Well, you could also choose to use the verbiage, I get to go do this. I get to go to work today. I get to go work out. I get to go have a conversation with my spouse. I get to wear this Green Beret. And even though it can be inconvenient or difficult or frustrating or whatever, that one adjustment in that vernacular, that one adjustment with that one word can change your entire framework on what it is you're going to go do. It could change your entire framework on the day you're having, or the month, or the year that you're having. Words have meaning, all right? Words mean things, and there's an incredible power that exists within the language that we use. So, a moment I felt like sharing with you, because it just happened to me in real time, now about 10 minutes ago. 16 years goes by really fast, and it's easy to forget kind of where things started. When you're going and you're in the game and you're going 1,000 miles an hour and you're getting after it. So while wearing a uniform, while wearing a hat may be an inconvenience at times, there's tremendous history that is within this and what this represents. And it is a privilege, one in which many, many people would want to have themselves. And even more people than those that get to wear it failed in their pursuit of getting it, of achieving that. Full circle moment. So, wanted to share that with you. I am now going to take this off because also driving around with a beret on or any military headgear on It's kind of lame. It's kind of weird. All right, it's kind of weird, to be honest with you. Unless you have to do it because it's part of your job. I think MPs have to wear their headgear while they drive around. I think it's like a weird military police thing. Don't do that unless you have to. Right? I kept mine on just for the impact of what was happening, right? Because it was related to the hat, but hat's off now, and now I'm going to take off and carry on with the rest of my day. We'll see you guys later.